Hello and welcome to today's edition of Tech Bites. Before we get into today's topic, I just want to spend a couple of minutes to update you on a couple of things. One of them being a workshop that I've got coming up next week. If you have not seen the flyer yet, I'm going to put it on the screen here. I'm going to be doing a workshop on the 4 shifts protocol. It'll be in the Media Center. The information is on the screen for you. If you're interested in joining, I welcome you to do so. We'll be looking at ways to modify lessons to incorporate the 4 shifts. And so I look forward to seeing you during that workshop. Also, you might notice a couple of changes this week in the logo of Tech Bites. It's got a small logo down at the bottom, and you'll see a logo at the end of the episode today that says Inspired. And more will be coming on that. I've been looking into branding a lot lately, and so I plan to do a Tech Bites episode here in the near future on educational branding, but that's there for you as well. So let's go ahead and jump into today's topic. I am very excited to share today's tool with you. As many of you know, last week I went to the IDEA conference, which is the technology conference here for the state of Illinois run by IDEA. And I was fortunate enough to come across this tool in one of the sessions that I attended and had some time to chat with the gentleman that created this, a couple of guys from Norway. And this is a really interesting tool. So a couple of weeks ago, I did a Tech Bites on Chat GPT and AI writing. This is a step up from that program. It's actually kind of using some of the same technology, but what Curipod is an interactive lesson design that's run on AI. And so this is the home page, and there are some clickable links, some information that you can read through here on the home page. But I want to jump in and show you guys what this actually looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and click on log in. Now when you sign up, it is completely free. It's free, but there is a paid version, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But this is a free tool that you can use, and you can use it tomorrow if you'd like to. When you first sign up, it's going to ask you if you're a teacher or a student. You can go ahead and click on teacher, and it will take you then to the main screen, the main workspace within Curipod. Now there are several things you can do here in Curipod. One of the things that you can do is up at the top there's a link that says Discover. If you click on the Discover link, it will actually show you a lot of Curipod lessons that have already been created by either the Curipod team or individual users. And the nice thing about this is you can just use one of these lessons as is if you'd like to, or you can make a copy of one of these lessons and modify it to your needs. So there are some lessons to choose from, and across the top you can see there are some categories. We've got SEL, math, check-ins. Those are like short little beginning of the class period check-ins just to see how your students are doing. Brain breaks. We've got creativity and exploration, sustainable development, and then there are also there's a template that you can use to create an exit ticket if you'd like to as well. But what I'd like to do now is really get into kind of the meat of what we've got going on here. So at the very top, I clicked on create a lesson. That's going to give me some choices. I can choose a blank if I want to start from scratch. I could choose a full lesson, a brain break, a multiple choice, or an exit ticket. For the sake of our discussion today, I'm going to go ahead and choose a full lesson. And that then will take me to this screen where I've got a couple of options. I can choose a grade level, so I could say, I want to make a lesson for 5th grade. And then I can either, or both, I can write a topic here. So I'm going to put in, let's see, writing compound sentences. Now I can just click do magic right now if I want to, or if I want this to be a little bit more specific, I can hit this drop down where it says learning objectives and standards, and I can either write or paste some objectives or some standards. One of the lessons that I created when I was playing with this a little bit earlier this week was I just copied and pasted some language arts standards, and then I hit the Do Magic, and it incorporated those standards into the lesson. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Do Magic, and this is where it gets really interesting. Because what this program does is it uses artificial intelligence to create a lesson. So once this is done generating, it's going to give me a set of slides, kind of like Google Slides or PowerPoint, but these have built-in interaction so that students can participate in the slides. So it's not just presenting information, but it's also giving them an option to participate. So this is what it created. I'll go ahead and start this here in just a minute. But it created a set of slides, and some of the slides are information, some of the slides are participatory for the students. So for example, this first slide here, it says, can you give me an example of a compound sentence in just a few words? And you can see on the right side toward the top, the activity for this is a word cloud. It's set to a 2-minute duration, and entries per participant is set to 5 words. So each individual participant or student has a limit of 5 words that they can put into this word cloud during the lesson. So up at the top, I'm going to click on Present. Now, if I wanted to, I could change any of this. So if I don't like the way the question is worded, I can change it. I could change the picture of the background. So all of this is editable. So you don't have to just use what's here. It gets you started, and then as you go through, you can edit and change and add to. But for the sake of time, I'm going to click on Present up here in the corner, the right-hand corner, and it's going to start the show. So this is what it looks like on my screen. This is what it will look like on your screen as a presenter. At the very top, there's a small little sentence or a link there that says join at Curi.live with the PIN number 10143. So your students on their Chromebooks can simply go to Curi.live and type in the PIN number, and it will then add them as a participant to this lesson. If we have the option to do QR codes, or you're doing a presentation where a QR code works, there's a little green button down at the bottom where you can pop up a QR code, so that that QR can just get scanned, and then the participants join that way. So as the presenter then, when I'm ready for my students to answer this question, I've got, again, a little timer down here at the bottom. I can hit the plus sign to add more time or subtract time if I want to, and then that little green play button just starts the timer. So once the timer runs out, or you decide to stop the timer, you can add time as it's going if you'd like to. You would then see on your screen the words that were submitted into the word cloud. Once that slide is done, you've discussed the words that the students have put in. You can move on to the next slide. This one is just simply an informational slide, and again, this was all generated through AI. So the software used my prompt of writing compound sentences to create this slide from information found on the web. The next slide, again, is just an informational slide. It talks about the concepts of compound sentences. We've got some fun facts about compound sentences that you could then discuss with your students. The next one is, again, a question. So work together in pairs. What is one way to combine 2 simple sentences into a compound sentence? So this one has a timer set for 10 minutes. Again, I can either adjust that down or up. You can also adjust that on the fly. So as your students are working in their pairs trying to answer this question, if you see they need a few more minutes, you can certainly add that while the lesson is being presented, or if you feel like they're all finished, you can hit the stop button, and it will end the timer before you get to the 10 minutes. So then it would show those answers. We've got another question where it compares what is an example of a compound sentence. This one is a drawing slide So it says, brain break, draw a world map with cartoon animals in each country. The animals should represent the culture of the country they're in. So this is just a way to kind of pause them for a minute during the lesson, give them something to do just to kind of give their brain a break from compound sentences, and then you move on. So then we have a poll. What is a compound sentence? So that one would show a bar graph once it's completed. Which of the following is a compound sentence? Again, a poll that you can use with your students. We've got another poll. What punctuation is used to join two independent clauses? Which of the following is not an example of a compound sentence? So these are very interactive for your students to be participating during the lesson. And then it ends with which of the following is a dependent clause. You can then end the lesson when you're all finished, and it will take you back to where you can take a look at the results of the lesson. So this one, this screen would show you the total number of students that responded. It will show you the responses that they gave during the lesson. So it compiles all of that for you at the end of the lesson. All of the lessons that you create, let me go back. All of the lessons that you create do sit right here in a list at the beginning, right when you log in. Now this is where it comes to free versus paid. You get 5 free lessons that you can create. Now that doesn't mean that you have to keep all of the ones that you create. So I've got 5 here that I've created as I was playing around with the website, and once I've gone through a lesson, if I decide I don't want to use that one again, I can certainly trash that one and create another one. So you can have 5 basically at a time that you have created. If this is something that you really see you would be using on a regular basis, there are some options. So there's an individual license you can buy. If this is something that as a school we decide we want to really get on board with, we can buy multiple licenses, but it's definitely something that you can use to start with for free. And if we get to the point where we are looking at this as something that we might be incorporating across the board, we could look at doing some kind of license for the site. So that is, again, Curipod. This is a really neat tool. It's brand new, and I encourage you to take a look and give it a shot. I will include a link in the email to the website for Curipod. If you're interested in taking a look, I definitely recommend checking it out. I'll also be building over the next couple of weeks a Tech Bytes Google Classroom. So I'm going to start loading the videos as well as some resources into that as well. And we'll include the link below for that as well in case you are interested in signing up now. And I'll be, like I said, building that out over the course of the next few weeks so that there's more information there for you to access. As always, thank you for tuning in to Tech Bytes. Hope you guys have a great week. Look forward to working with you.